And so we're going to start out, instead of kind of going down introducing everybody one by one, we're just going to start out with the same question for each of you guys and ladies. And so you will get 3 minutes each on this question, okay? And so it's really, I shouldn't say this question, it's a three-part question. So what legislation were you most proud of last session? What legislation are you eager to bring the next session? Is your dance card already full for bills, or do you have room for more? So, Representative Warner, if you want to start, 3 minutes.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, and it's an honor to be here with these ladies and gentlemen here on the table with me on the panel, and thank you, Washington County, for having us up here. The three, I guess the bill that I was most in favor of, or one of the bills that we passed this time, was the illegal immigration. We cracked down on illegal immigration here in the state. I'm glad to see that our governor and the Department of Safety have, started stepping up and playing their role, their part in that. What was the second part of the question?
Second part was what legislation are you eager to bring next session?
I have a school safety bill. I'll just give you an example. Right now in Marshall County, we have a student that has made multiple threats, mass, threats. Right now, each time they do it, they get kicked out of school for a year. What my bill will do is the second time they do it, they have to stay virtual. They never get to come back. It's interrupting class. I forget how many we've already had this year across the state, but and it cost, I think there was a study done on one that they had it maybe in Gallatin or Hendersonville last year, and it cost about, after they made a bomb threat, it cost the county about $40,000 to come in to make sure everything was back safe for the students to return. But what this bill would do, after the first time they do it, if they do it again, they never get to come back. And the third part again, I'm sorry.
If you have room for more.
I'm one that believes that the state has enough laws on the books. I think for every bill that we pass, we ought to take, every new law, we ought to take something off the books. I've been raised one of the most conservative members numerous times in the House, and I just think we have enough laws on the books. If anything, the more laws we need to be laws that are sticking to our most serious criminals. That's my thought there.
Thank you. Representative Alexander.
I have, was it about the bill? It's not on.
Yes, what legislation were you most proud of last session?
I'll put it up. For me, two bills that I passed that I'm very proud of. One was no cell phones in schools. And we have a situation across this country where our children are being exposed to social media too much of the time. They need to be in school focused on what they're there for. And we're having tremendous success across the state because of that bill. Kids are talking to each other in the cafeteria, and they are putting homework down on paper and turning it in, and teachers are amazed at what's going on across the state. The second most important bill that I did, and it's hard to choose which one would be the most important, but being able for oncologists to diagnose a patient with stage 4 cancer and have them not have to do step therapy to get to the right drug. When someone is stage 4 metastatic cancer, time is of the essence, and that's really important. What I'd like to work on for next year is I hope to strengthen that bill and come back for any staged cancer.
Do you have room for more?
Oh, well, we have 10. I've got a few slots still left, but yes.
Okay. Care to talk about them?
Thank you.
The ones that I have,
Do you have any that you're going to bring?
Well, I think I just mentioned the
That-
first one. We're working on a bill for deaf children right now also, so that they have the ability to learn like other children have the ability to learn. And working on 2 other bills that I had last year that are probably going to be brought back this year and improved on.
Thank you. Senator Crowe.
Thank you, Rebecca. And thanks to all of you for coming. This is really great to get us all together. We could pass some legislation tonight. And we're all conservatives, so it'd be great legislation. I guess one of them I'm proud of, and I'll say this specifically because Bernadette's in the room, and many of you came to me and said, how many times have someone said to you out there, Rusty, we never had these kind of mass shootings when we were young. You know, the worst thing you could do was go to the bathroom and smoke a cigarette or something back in those days. But we never had, so all of a sudden, in this culture, we're having this kind of, you know, hate and just kids that don't know who they are. And so I passed a bill that Bernadette helped draft that actually says that when we have a mass shooting, we will mass spec, we will do the lab testing on what psychotropic and gender type drugs are in their bodies. And we're going to send that to UT so we can get a picture of what's going on. That's one of them. One I'm really proud of co-sponsoring is the DEI. One I'm really proud of co-sponsoring, I think probably every one of us up here had a part in this, was the DEI, the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion legislation to get rid of that in Tennessee. We should not be hiring people or putting people on boards or giving people scholarships in universities based on whether they're a man, a woman, they're black, they're white, they're transgender, whatever. You know, that should not, it should be, you know, done on meritocracy. Can you do the job and are you qualified? So we were really proud of that. I guess another one I'm really proud of is Jay Reedy and I passed a bill. You know, in Tennessee, we have the National Guard, but we also, as many people don't know, we have a Tennessee Guard. That's our militia. It doesn't report to the president. That just reports to the governor and to us. And so for the first time, this group up here, I sponsored a bill with Jay Reedy, but they were so helpful, everyone up here at the table. We actually put that in as a budget item so that we can start funding our militia. And so that was a great bill I like. I guess next year, I'm looking at some veterans legislation. I got a call the other day. I passed a bill years ago that says if your mom or dad is killed in combat, then you get to go to the University of Tennessee free of charge. And so I want to do that for those that are 100% disabled as well. And then I got another request from a wife of a husband who's a military fellow. They moved back to Tennessee. He gets to have in-state tuition. She doesn't. And so we're going to work on those kind of things. So much to do out there. And I know many of you, the time's up here, but many of you are going to come to our offices like Bernadette did and ask us to pass legislation, and we'll do that for you. Thank you. And then I guess the last part was for next year. I'm like Representative Warner. We've got so much on the books we need to get rid of. We really do. But we are allowed in the Senate to have as many as we want. They can only have how many now? 10. So that makes it interesting. But I think I agree with him. We've got enough on the books as it is. Let's just concentrate on good old conservative legislation.
Great. Thank you.
Good evening.
It's working.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right, well, I just really want to say thank you for having me. Thank you, Danielle, for inviting me. My district is all of Sullivan County, all of Hawkins County, so it's always nice to be able to drive through the windy roads through Jonesboro to get here in Washington County.
It's God's country.
It really is.
It's the real America. You got country gas, too.
But you know, it's funny, we had talked about Bernadette earlier. I wanted to make sure I gave her a shout out. Rusty beat me to it. I've joked that I should have a little plaque in my office with her name on it because she's there to help educate me. And we've had a few meetings since sessions ended, and you know, this is my 4th time in my life being a freshman, And so I'm going to use that to the very end until next year's over. But it's been a learning experience. One thing that I would say is I have a newfound respect for everyone that sits behind that desk. Because it's one thing to be on the outside and look at legislation. It's another to actually be on the inside taking the fight to it. And so I just want to thank each and every one up here, especially our Northeast delegation. Everyone's been a mentor to me. I remember sitting down with Brusky early on, and he was giving me the lowdown, unfiltered. And so, it's been a pleasure to be able to serve in the Senate. The one thing that I did pick up, well, we don't have subcommittees in the Senate. So that does put us at an advantage when it comes to whatever committees we're on, but it can also put us at a disadvantage because we're actually not, a lot of these bills are not on our purviews. So by the time it reaches the floor, we may actually not be as up on it as some others. So that's why it's super important that you guys continually reach out to us. Now, for example, my committees are health, energy and agriculture, and judiciary. And I've joked, I don't know who I upset to get on judiciary, but it's turned out to be one of my favorites.
It goes all night long.
It goes all night.
They like to argue about law.
So that's been fun. As far as legislation, this go around really just trying to get my feet wet. I took on a lot of legislation that I didn't necessarily originate. But I will tell you, I will have a fight like no other coming 2026. So it's already out there in the public. I actually already had an attack against me in the Washington Examiner, of all places. And so it surrounds pharmacy benefit managers. Is anybody familiar with PBMs? Perfect. That's what I like to hear. So my goal here is to try to mimic what Arkansas recently passed and had it signed by Governor Huckabee. And what that will do is that will actually take out the middleman out of the equation to where they're no longer able to own or directly or indirectly a pharmacy because it's a complete conflict of interest. So more to come on that. Once again, any support I can garner from anyone up on the table, anyone out in the audience, it's going to be huge because they're already massing an army of lobbyists to fight a bill that I've not even filed yet. So you see how important that is. And when you start getting text messages and you start getting direct mail from Lord knows who, a lot of it is probably from corporate saying this is going to hurt our healthcare systems, don't believe it. So I'll go ahead and put that out there. And so I once again, that's going to be probably my heavy lift of this session, and I look forward.
Thank you. Hicks from District 6.
Thank you. That sort of rhymes, doesn't it? First of all, I want to say that it's an honor and a privilege to serve with everyone sitting at this table right here. Together we make a great team. We have a super majority all the way across the board in the Senate and the House. So we get a lot of legway on what we get to do, and we appreciate that. And I think Tennessee appreciates that, and I think now the nation is actually seeing that. So it's an honor to serve with these folks. Probably I think all my bills was good, but probably the best one is it was an honor to be able to do the bill for the governor on the Hurricane Relief Act, Hurricane Helene. It was a big bill that was in a special session, and it turned loose. It gave our counties comfort at a time that they needed it before session to know that as they went out and waiting on the federal government takes a long time. I mean, Washington County, I know, hasn't received one dime of federal money yet for anything, so they're having to borrow money. And this bill allows the state to help out to pay interest on all the loans. They pay all the closing costs, they pay all the interest, so it's a huge help for our counties and puts them where they can still function. It also it created grants and loans for agriculture efforts, recovery efforts, for unemployment assistance, and for business recovery. So it was a big bill. It was right around, I think, $240 million, and it was well needed for Northeast Tennessee. Also, I had a bill that help with the nursing shortage. It was for Valley Health, and there's a huge nursing shortage all the way across the country, but it's really affected in Northeast Tennessee. So this will create an avenue for high school students to be able to come out of high school, graduate from high school, and have their nursing degree at the same time. So it'll be a huge help for all of the hospitals around the area, and everyone in healthcare will really 5 years down the road see if they benefit from that. As far as legislation coming up this next year, the bill that will be my bill that I'll be carrying will probably be uninsured motorists. 20% of Tennesseans are running around our roads with no car insurance, and it's huge. So we're going to be battling that. I had the bill this year. I took it off notice because I didn't really realize how big this bill was going to be, and I've been working on it all summer long with different folks. So that'll probably be the big bill that I have this next year, and my spots are filling up, so I don't have hardly any left.
Dance cards almost full.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Representative Fritts, and he came from District 32, so maybe a pretty good drive. Maybe it's like Representative Warner.
Hey, it's good to be y'all tonight. I'm sure I have some work family in here. Any nuclear fuels people related in the room? It's good to, I don't know if we met, we were working together, but it's good to be with you again. I love Northeast Tennessee. Hey, my dance card's full. I'll start off with that for next year. Resolutions and legislation that I carried last year, and I'll just mention mine. I think House Joint Resolution 51 is tremendously important. We cannot legislate or spend ourselves out of the problem we find ourselves in Tennessee. We need to move with God. And prayer resolution, our prayer resolution to fast and pray is important in Tennessee. The demonic spirits that giggle when we show up. It is important that we uplift the name of Jesus Christ every chance that we get, and that we kneel before Him, asking for His blessing on this place that we are, this place that He has ordained and put in, that we can live as free men and women. So thank you, Lord Jesus, for what you do. And then I would go to Resolution 98. We did an atrocious thing in the United States to our servicemen and women over this whole COVID farce. And we forcibly inject them with COVID vaccinations, which have disabled many of them. We required them over many years to take anthrax vaccinations. Both were often under unlawful orders. And so your Tennessee House passed a resolution urging Congress to move on that, provide care for our servicemen and women who were disabled, hurt, or even harmed just financially and in the rank structure by that COVID. And also calls for an investigation of those people that made those decisions. We ought to hold them accountable, and I think that's a good thing for Tennessee. The last thing I would offer and just accomplish this year, I'm talking as fast as somebody from Rockwood can. The Satanists got me all warmed up on Jesus there. So the Gun Owners of America, we passed a piece of legislation that protects the manufacturers of the state of Tennessee, firing parts and ammunition. I was saying that it's important that it's a God-given right, it's an absolute right to be able to fight for it in Tennessee. And Gun Owners says we have the best legislation in the country. That's right up there. Next year, some of the things that are important to me, and I'm looking at 30 seconds, essentialism. Unfortunately, our governor fought me on this for 3 years. We're going to keep fighting. I think every man and woman in this room, even the Satanists back there, are essential. And that you have the right in your chosen career field to earn a living, and no governor, no county mayor, no anybody can tell you you're not essential, you can't earn a living. You need to pass that. Assault against the sanctity of life is the last one. And I think an assault against the sanctity of life should merit the death penalty if elected by the prosecutorial powers. And that covers 3 areas, and you'll see that from me this year. And those 3 are rape of any human being by an adult. You've taken something, can't be given back, you should be put to death. Secondly, human trafficking. If you're selling men and women for sex or labor, we ought to put you to death. And thirdly, if you kill a baby from embryo on up with a pill or with a scalpel, we ought to execute you.